This is section 3.5 from MA 110. This is the third video for this assignment. So now what we're going to do is figure out how to find the inverse of our function f if it exists. So the first thing we do is figure out whether or not the function is one-to-one. And if the function is one-to-one, then it has an inverse. So all of the questions that I have you do in the assignment, I believe, are all inverses eligible because they're all one-to-one. So this is number 8. So f of x equals 1/3 x. So how do I find the inverse? So the algorithm that I use, number 1, is instead of writing f of x equals 1/3 x, I just write y. So y equals 1/3 x. I interchange x for y. That used to be y, and now it's x. And everywhere I see y, everywhere I saw x, I put a y. So I interchanged y and x and y. Then step 3 is I solve for y. So I multiplied 3 by both sides, and I get 3x is equal to y. So once I solve for y, I change my y into, step 4, this f inverse notation. So the inverse of f of x equals 1/3 is 3 times x. I tested that by doing f of f inverse of x, and I got out x, and f inverse of x, and I got out x. So f inverse equals 3x. Let's do another example, number 40. So f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. So step 1 is I replaced f of x for y. So I have y equals 2x minus 5. Step 2 is everywhere I saw x, I put a y, and everywhere I saw y, I put an x. So I interchanged x and y's. Then step 3 is I solve for y. Added 5 to both sides, divide both sides by 2, and I get y equals x plus 5 over 2. Then step 4, once I've solved for y, is to replace y with f inverse. So the inverse of 2x minus 5 is x plus 5 divided by 2. And once again, I plugged in f of f inverse of x, and when I did that, I got x. Then I plugged in f inverse of f of x, and when I did that, I got x. So x plus 5 divided by 2 is, in fact, the inverse of 2x minus 5.